Wah! Hello. Music loud for me, be quieter. Become small. Turn it down a little bit. No BS as well again! Because I am a fool, and I never, Oh! Thank you for the follow. Where is my game? There's my game. I'm a fool, and I never write down my, Ace Attorney levels. So! Today, we are back with Ace Attorney. Oh, you fell asleep during the stream? Okay, well, if you saw the beginning, you know about what we're doing. Because if you just drop into Ace Attorney 4 at this point in the game, it's like, what the fuck is happening? It's the best, the fucking Mesa system. But yeah, today we are going to continue with Ace Attorney, and I don't remember how long the investigation part takes. We may or may not finish today, but I don't actually remember how long the rest of the game is. No, stop the music. Be quiet. Cease. I don't actually remember how long the rest of the game is because, as with all Ace Attorney games, the final case is like really long. So we might finish today, we might not finish today, I don't know, I'll see. I will probably take a break at some point soon to eat lunch, which means I will refuel and we'll probably be able to go longer, but I don't know. I have like other stuff I should do today. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's go. Let's go from save point. Oh, I hit chapter start. No. No. I forget my buttons. Damn it. Okay, let me just... I closed the game. Shit. Alright, hang on. That's my bad. I hit the wrong button. Give me a moment to open the video game again. Come on. Yeah. Smothering Phoenix with a pillow. Let's try this again and hit the real button this time. This one. Yeah! I don't remember how to get to the fucking menu in this thing. I think we have to do this. I think it's time for this. Also, let me know if the game's too loud. And if you're like on speaker or on headphone. Alright. Present day. Solitary Cell 13. Well, isn't this an unexpected surprise? What errand brings you down to my cramped confines? Gavin? Is your idea of revenge, Phoenix, right? Revenge for the events that took away your attorney's badge 7 years ago? Yes, him! My past is like my logic, straight and true. Nothing's changed. All I did was point the finger of justice in the proper direction. Fine. I'm glad we could have this little tete-a-tete, right? You look well, Phoenix, right? You too, Gavin. Hehehe, let's fucking go. Let's look at this stupid room. It's strange, you know? Here I am in solitary, and yet the books keep piling up. Looks like you got more than books up there. Ah, yes, my collection. I have a few friends on the prison staff. Please show me a little kindness. I'd say this is more than a little. Just a little? He has like so much shit. The bookcase is probably all one item. Can I look at the chair? That's some chair. Just looking at it makes me want to take a seat. You'd probably have to add a whole digit to the price of one of my office chairs. And here, a comfortable chair is the most valuable thing in the world. You'd have to add 2 digits to the price of the standard prison issue chair for this. These prison chairs don't look so bad either. Maybe I should redecorate. Nice roses. Taking care of this one here? Yes, she's surprisingly delicate, you know. Requires careful tending, but she is my best friend, as they say. Best? Come on, now I'm starting to feel bad for you. Oh? Of course, she's known to bite if handled roughly. Your rose bites? I was speaking of the photo next to the rose. My retriever, Bungle. Cute, but feisty. Every dog has this thorn. The wrinkle of Christoph Gavin has a retriever is still so much to me. It almost been bothering me since I came in here. Yeah, it's bright yellow. It's not nice to peek at other people's mail. You get mail here in jail? That I do, though they read it first, apparently. Still, I am allowed the pleasure of correspondence. Packages and the like are a different matter, however. Looks like sneaking a peek is out of the question. Let's talk. Gavin's murder. Life has been full of surprises, for both of us. I've no doubt you never expected to lose that attorney's badge of yours. And I'll bet you never expected to wind up here. Shady Smith was the name of the man you killed. Do you know who he really was? Who he was? Zach Grammari. You know, the defendant. I remember him, of course. Did you say Smith was Zach? Impossible. Don't even try to tell me it was a coincidence. What did I just say? Life is full of surprises, don't you think? After that trial, you were arrested and found guilty. But your motive was never made clear. A mistake I plan to remedy. You're not an attorney anymore, Phoenix Wright. What possible conclusion do you think this investigation of yours can lead to? I killed a man named Smith with a bottle because I'm an evil human being. Isn't that enough? Not for me, it isn't. Yeah, Kristoff's haunted shadow sprite. I love it. I really love his sprite work. It's really good. I need to know why you did it, Gavin. Your old case. Recall that case 7 years ago? Ah, yes. The trial where Zach Grammar always pulled his famous vanishing act. My brother won his fair share of praise and adoration for that trial, as I recall. Genius prosecutor reveals crooked attorney, was it? That was when I met you, wasn't it? Was it now? The Bar Association The Bar Association Review Board voted unanimously for the strictest punishment. Unanimous, save for one dissenting opinion. Yours. It was my brother who was responsible for putting you in that position after all. For 7 years we've been friends. And yet, I still don't understand you. But right, your friendship towards me has never been pure. You suspected me then, as you do now, don't you? Honestly, right now, I'm not sure what to think. You didn't just brain a guy with a juice bottle for no reason. Tell me why you did it. Persistent, aren't you? I came here because I remembered something. The night of our game. Zach Grammar, I mentioned your name, Gavin. Ah, that reminds me. I saw a familiar face as I entered this restaurant. He did not seem to notice me, however. Excuse me. Gavin, I believe is his name. After that, he was killed, and I asked you to help me. Because I remembered your kindness back when everyone had turned on me. I seem to be in a bit of trouble. Something like that. Dead. Someone hit him. Hard. Me? Please. The cop should be here any minute. I'm in your hands. Should it come to that. have to know. Why did you kill Shady Smith? No, Zach Graham or I? Whoa! I've never seen Cyclops like these. Dark, cold, full of despair. Can I even unlock these things? Something wrong, right? No, it's nothing. You shouldn't push yourself so hard. Life is to be taken easy, you know. He's doing his nails. God, I love the Black Cyclops. What the fuck? And I don't think we have anything else to do really here. I will, however, look at the guide for kindness to myself. Solitary Cell 13. Wait, I want to read out the way that this is written in the guide. You're asking why Kristoff killed him. Of course, 5 Cyclops appear. Hold on, they're all black, cold, dark, and full of despair! Kristoff then does his nails. Okay, that was it. Let's see. You're thinking, what self-respecting man would use nail polish? Not really. I know appearances are a big thing with you. You know what I say? One cannot live a beautiful life without beautiful nails. First-rate in all things, except nothing less. That certainly does look like first-rate nail polish. I like the sparkly bottle. It's crystal. If you're so drawn to it, please, have one. It's on me. Why does he have just a billion of these? Can I, like, look at it? Where's my... No, I don't want to present. Okay. Oh wait, the court record button. I got like way too used to DGS's UI. Yeah, I can look at it. I don't think I can really do much with it. There's a bird. Oh, maybe not a bird. Ariadone. I've heard of that brand. And that's supposed to be the brand symbol. It's supposed to be some kind of flower. Oh. Wait, no, maybe it's a hand. Wait, on second thought, is that an eagle? Who makes these things up anyway? You'd think they'd try for a clearer symbol at least. Ain't that just the way? That's probably about all we have to do here. Yeah. Oh, my crunchy cracky audio. Ooh, crunchy. I don't remember what I did in here. So I'll just follow the guide. Crunk crunk. No. Your work. Don't try to pretend you've forgotten. Sure, all you did was make a copy. But that copy might have destroyed the life of an innocent man. I knew it would be difficult to escape this. So, Mr. Misham, tell me about McAfee's diary. Yeah, okay, I did that. And it's a Cyclops thing. Let's try it. Wait, shit. I meant to hit the Magatama button. No! I really love the Cyclops function. I might like I might have to like think about implementing something similar in a game someday. It's really fun. Let's hear it then. What are you hiding from me, Mr. Misham? I'm sorry, but I really don't know. I never met the client. True, when I asked the client's name, there were no cyclops in sight. Yeah, the Makatama model does look like hard candy. Regardless, you're hiding something. You have to be, otherwise it wouldn't make sense. Why are you doing this to me? Well, I've made my stand. No backing down now. So, what's Misham hiding? The forger. I can pretty much piece together what it is from what you said. But what is it then? You told me what you knew about the client, and I couldn't see any Cyclops. Cyclops? Is that some sort of asylum security? Or a new hairstyle, perhaps? I love when he just says it. But then they did show up, didn't they? Who was your client? I do not know. I know nothing. Not personally. Those words triggered the Psych-Lock. Again with the Psycho-Locks! Now I really must know what they are. So, you didn't meet with the client. But someone else did. Maybe the real forger behind this evidence? Perhaps I'm hung up on this lock business. But I'm afraid you've lost me. Yeah, well, I didn't come here to talk about Cyclops. As long as I come to the right conclusion, it doesn't matter how I got there. Your conclusion is? The real forger behind this wasn't you, Mr. Misham. Poppycock! I don't know what you're talking about. That's my work, I tell you. Made here in my studio. Who else could it have been but me? That's the real question, isn't it? If the forger wasn't you, then I don't have many other people to choose from. The real forger at Drew's studio is... the baby. The real forger is your daughter, Vera Misham, isn't it? Ridiculous! My daughter's only 12 years old, Mr. Wright! I've always been more one for landscapes, not surrealism. Nice comeback, but you're shaking in your boots. I've got you now! The only two people with access to the studio is you and your daughter. The Cyclops tell me you're not the forger, which means your daughter are the only possibility. I feel very much on the verge of going Psycho-Lock myself. I'm going to go Psycho-Lock. I got HP back. My HP bar. An Ace Attorney. I don't know how you knew, but you're right. The one who made this page was my daughter, Vera, not I. She's only 12. A genius, you might call her. Precocious little girl outshining her father. There's been a lot of that going around recently. I let her play in the studio and she watched me. I think he literally does die if you run out. Like, you get a game over, I think. I am still so fascinated about how, like, there are actually, like, bad endings in Ace Attorney, but I've never really seen any of them. I think the only one I actually know about is there's one of the ones in the trilogy where there's like this CG of Phoenix in like a trench coat and the wind is billowing and he's like walking away on a bridge or something. And I think there's also one in AA5 where, take this with like the giantest pinch of salt because I do not remember what it actually is because I never saw it myself. But I think AA5 has a bad ending where it's like Phoenix runs away or something and Apollo and Athena are just left at the agency. Don't take my word for that because I don't remember what I need to look at them again. I've like never actually seen any of the bad endings. It's so funny to me that Phoenix Wright has bad endings. Or Ace Attorney rather. God. She taught herself in that way. The drafting tools and analytical devices I bought, but when they become necessary. No one even talks about them. If you want to, they should be on the wiki. Probably like, if you look at the final cases for all the games, I think they have all the bad endings there. They're mostly just like, Phoenix got disgraced and he ran away like a little coward. That's like all they are. I don't know if anyone like dies. Maybe the trench coat one I'm thinking of might be Ace Attorney 2, and I think the bad ending is probably that Maya stays kidnapped. I don't remember. God, maybe I'll look at them after the stream. Just pull them up. If I remember. If you're here, remind me. The drafting tools and other devices I bought when they became necessary. They're my little girl's playthings now. Ah, do I detect a bit of fatherly pride? So, Vera was the one who made this page. Would she know who the client was then? Actually, the client came once. Here, to the studio. What? Why didn't you say so sooner? But their face was covered and they did not want to talk to me. So they talked to your daughter? I will speak only with the artist, the client told me. That little girl might know something about him. Your daughter. Okay, what do I do now? Maybe I should talk to her father a bit more? Or is it time to turn my attention to Vera? Vera? Unless he'll bar me. Mr. Misham, I have a request. Let me guess. I'd like to speak with my daughter. Hang on. Can I? My daughter has never been one to talk to strangers. She's quite shy, extremely so, actually. With only one exception. Which was... oddly enough, it was that client. I left the studio while they talked. I returned when they had finished, and she was laughing. It was the first time I'd seen anything of the sort. Please, let me speak with her. Alright. Uh-oh. This could be tough. Vera, was it? I would like you to have a friendly chat? Oh, would you like to have a friendly chat? I'm Phoenix Wright, ex-lawyer and pianist. I just said that really weird. Pianist. I'm still looking for the keys that say Do Re Mi. Can't find them anywhere. I'm no good at this. I need something to get through to this girl. What about that stamp? That storm. And then there's this. Oh. Yeah. Excuse me. My stamp. Hey, she spoke! She can talk! Yeah, so the stamp. How can I keep her talking? Great magicians. Isn't your camera amazing? Yes? Oh. I especially like those two, Zack and Valiant. I mean, they're, just so magical! Aren't they? Aren't they? Yeah! Whenever I go to one of their shows, I'm like, whoa! Magic! You know? Me too, me too! I love them! They're so cool! It's like magic! Yeah! Alright, she's talking! Not saying much, but it's a start! Whoop, where's my bookers? I went and saw them with Father the other day. The opening ceremony at the Grammar Museum of Magic. The Grammar Museum? They have one of those? It doesn't make sense now that they have their own commemorative stamp. So, have you been to one of their shows? Just once when I was little, with Father. The Grammar is on stage. It was like a dream. Disappearing, reappearing, cutting apart, putting back together. They do it all! Yeah, yeah! Maybe you can keep telling me stuff like this? You know, about Zack and Valiant, maybe? Oh, sure! Alright, better get asking before she changes her mind. Talk me. They're the best in the world! Huh? Oh, you mean True Grammar? Of course! Let the music stop! Father gave it to me. Your father? But I asked him about it. He didn't know how you got it. I guess I just took it. Yeah. Took it? Father got a letter from that person. That person? You mean that letter was from the client? Oh, we talked about the Grammars forever that day. I'm sure that's why I was sent the stamp. I didn't want to just send it back, so I took it. You're a sneaky one, this client. They were trying to get on our good side. Okay. So, your father tells me you're good at painting all sorts of things? I really like painting. A lot. Father's always very happy when I paint them exactly the same. So, you did this too? Oh, yes! That was my first job! Your first? All I used to do was paint the same thing I saw. But this was totally different. The pen slips, and the way the writers held the pen, and the pressure on the nib. I had to use a microscope to analyze it on the computer. She seems happy. Odd. Her work was the last nail in the Grammar coffin. I guess no one told her. That sucks. I don't go outside much. I like to paint in here. Why don't you like the outside? There's bad people out there. Well, true, but there's lots of good people too. Actually, I should tell you, she was almost kidnapped once. Kidnapped? Since then, she's been, well, you can see for yourself. She refuses to leave the house. I see. Wait, but that doesn't make sense. She said she went to the Grammar Museum. With you, in fact. Ah, yes, actually, she was quite insistent on it, much to my surprise. That was the first and last time she expressed such a desire to me. That person gave me a good luck charm. A good luck charm? For when I absolutely had to go outside. Yes, apparently she received something. A gift. From that client, actually. She won't tell me what it was. Father! I told you to keep that a secret! From that client, huh? This I have to hear about. So, you met the person that asked you to do this job? And you talked with them? What's this about a good luck charm you received? I can't talk about it. Eh? If I do, it won't work anymore. That's what I was told. Yeah, but I really, really have to know. And shit, this child's got secrets! Time to do some psych unlocking. Fuck, I hope I have everything. You seem to trust this client quite a lot, in fact. Because they gave you the stamp? No, that's not why. They listen to me, to my problem. The problem? Keeps her inside all the time? Don't go outside if you don't want to. That's what they told me. But when I absolutely have to go out, all I had to do was use a good luck charm. Good luck charm? That your client gave you? I think I know what your client might have given you, actually. Is this your good luck charm? The only new item we got? This was what they gave you, wasn't it? Ha! The same bottle's over there on your desk. Your good luck charm, right? I heard once... Cosmetics are once thought to ward off evil. This is a magic bottle. It has the power. Ah, of course it does. I'll just refrain commenting on any more on that one. I think I know who gave you that bottle, actually. The one who asked you to do this job. Was this the client? You. Take that! This man is a friend of mine. Know him? Ah! His name is Christoph Gavin. He's a lawyer, actually. Yeah, I wonder who. I promised. I promised not to tell. Sorry. I'm sorry, I can't talk with the client, I promised. And if I break my promise, the spell won't work. I don't need a name anymore. I've got my answer. You're pretty confident in this charm, then. I think they might be the devil. Huh? Or maybe an angel. But what do you mean? I saw it. I think I saw it when they gave me this. I saw the devil's face. Are you saying the client's face looked like the devil's? No! The client was gentle, with a gentle smile. So, where'd you see this devil then? It was so quick. I don't remember well. But that's when I knew that person wasn't like the other people. That's why I believe in my good luck charm. I'm not sure what this devil she saw was, but it's pretty clear that Kristoff Gavin was returned. Well, I think that's all. I'll be leaving now. I am sorry for what happened. If you want to apologize, try my client, Zach Grammari. Hi, Alex! Did I do something bad? What makes you think that? Your eyes, they're sad. Very sad. I'll put on my smile next time I come. Promise. I hope to see you smile then too, Vera. Oh, okay. Take care. All you missed was we saw Gavin's Black Cyclops. Thinking back on my first encounter with the young forager, I witnessed something of vital importance that day. Of course, by the time I realized it was already too late. Oh, crunchy. Yeah, sorry. You'll have to watch the VOD to see them. I'm just gonna keep using the guide for this because it's so back and forth. Yeah, I think we can do this now. Yeah, it was the next thing we had to do. I stopped last time before seeing them. Honestly, it would have been a good thing to leave the last part on, but I was like, I need to stop. Yeah, Clavier's evil brain. No, not Clavier, not Clavier, not him. Kristoff's evil brain. No, shit. Yeah, I get it. Shit. Oh, I was smashing. This is my bad. I will sippy water. I have clown gamer hands. Okay, I'm hitting the right button this time. Ah! I know, I'm really spoiled. I got really spoiled by DGS. There's so much quality of life updates. Also because I can like control it with my keyboard. Oh my god. Yeah, I can't control this with my keyboard. So I'm just like, it's button mashy. The path. I'll find it. That's what it take a life, you've been not long for this world. That's like asking someone to commit murder. Yes, our mentor was fond of dramatic moves, and dramatic finales. And he got his wish. His life was taken. What weakness could be so powerful as to coerce someone into committing murder? My guess is it was a matter of life. Or death. Care to explain? Your troop lived in a world of showmanship. The flashier the better. And flashy so often means danger, doesn't it? Let us make this as painless as possible. If you have proof of this danger, then show it. It's fucking good. Why, that's one of ours. Excuse me. Especially designed for your show, I gather. A single bullet, one shot. What are you suggesting? We are magicians, Mr. Wright, not murderers. I'm not crying murder, Mr. Valent. I'm crying something far more tragic. An accident. Zack and Valent's quick draw shoot him. How long has it been since those shots were last heard? Was the shoot 'em cancelled because someone might get hurt? Of course, what other reason could there be? Well, it could have been cancelled because someone had already been hurt. Fascinating, my Faustian forging friend. But tell me, what can you prove with a single pistol? Well, tell me what would have happened if there had been an accident. What if one of your bullets took a life on stage? The performance of magic is not concerned with what-ifs. It is concerned with precision. Precisely whom do you claim we shot? Looks like I've chosen the right path. Let's just hope he talks it with me. What? Life was sacrificed, the show might go on, and this shows who it was. Lucky. But that's... that Grammarai's wife, and Trucy's mother. Thalassa, I believe was her name. Alakazar! But how can you say this? How can you say she was struck by one of our bullets? Still in denial mode, eh? Thalassa was at the greatest risk of being shot, and this clearly shows just how much danger she was in. I don't fucking know what to present on this one. Crunchy. What? Okay. Why? Joe Grammarai's performances were very, very popular. Oh, the popularity? What? So popular that you even made a commemorative stamp at the height of your fame. We were not merely the latest craze, we were an age. A golden age. It's all here on the stamp. There's Thalassa, yes? Ah. Oh, I see. Her being in the magic show is the reason for the stamp. Trucy's mother is missing, I hear. What happened to her? I don't know! Part of his memory's still locked up. There was one thing you're failing to address. What's that? As you say, our troop was the world unto itself. If our leader, Magnifi, was so inclined, he could hide anything he wished with ease. But, Mr. Wright, then he would have hid a crime, making him an accomplice. Not a great foundation for blackmail. Alan's got a point. If one of the true members died in an accident and Magnifi covered it up, his innocence would come into question. Found the right address, Mr. Wright? I'm so close. There has to be something. But how Thalassa's death could affect Zack and Valen's relationship with Magnifi. Okay. I see in your eyes, you still have something to say. How could you possibly prove more than you already have? I'll prove why Thalassa's accident tied your hands so completely. With a person. It's gonna take a little knowledge of the players to crack this one. The accidental death of Zack's wife tied both your hands, and this information proves why Magnifi held so much power over you. It wasn't a question of who shot Thalassa. Excuse me. Thalassa herself was the problem. What do you mean? She was Zack Grammarai's wife, Trucy's mother, and Magnifi Grammarai's only daughter. Ugh. There was a terrible accident. And the two of you killed your mentor's only daughter. If it wasn't the key to Magnifi's power over you, I don't know what was. It was an accident! Oh god, my laptop's dying. Get plugged in. Eat up. There's no proof, not at all! But Thalassa went missing. And your mentor blackmailed both of his disciples. It doesn't take a genius to put one and one together. Ours was a complex family. You mean Troop Grammarai? The master, Magnifi Grammarai, his only daughter, and his two disciples. That does sound like a recipe for disaster, doesn't it? Do not be tempted into faulty flights of fancy. Yes, there was an accident. But that is all it was. An accident. Zack and Valen's tour de force. The guns ablaze, excuse me. The guns blaze, the bullets fly, straight towards that beautiful body on stage. And then crash, sing, pow, into everything but her. Now that is magic. It happened one day when we were practicing. Same trick with a new twist. And tragedy. But as for whose bullet stole Thalassa's life, we shall never know the answer. Thalassa disappeared from our lives, and Zack was bereft of his wife. Trucy lost her mother. And Magnifi his daughter. That led to blackmail, I take it. It is all part and parcel of the darkness that comes with the curtain falls. Why did Magnific Grammar try to cover up the accident? It was his own daughter who died. All I can say is it was a critical time for Troop Grammar. A passing of the torch from Magnific to Zack McFalland. We all sacrificed so that it might be a success. Thalassa's death was the greatest sacrifice of all. Yet, even when her life was extinguished, her presence was not. What do you mean? In time, we, myself and Zack, found we could no longer oppose Magnific's wishes. Magnific forced us to perform his art for his benefit. I see. I guess I can understand. I mean, he did lose his only daughter. But you do not find cowardice in his actions? To decide to hide the truth of your own daughter's death is one thing. But then to hang that death as a guillotine above our heads? Things were dark behind the scenes in Troop Grammar, that's for sure. Does Trucy know? She was not told, naturally. Who would want to know that their father might have taken their mother's life? True. I had not thought of that accident for a very long time. I'm sorry to dredge up old memories, but this has helped a lot. Not to find Magnific Slayer, I should think. True. After that accident, there was one who came sniffing, quite persistently. A reporter? He called himself a newsman at the time. Often I spied him lurking about the dressing room, doing his research. Would you happen to remember his name? What was his name? Sorry, I have forgotten. But in the course of his interviewing, he became quite close to my partner, Zack. I liked him not. I see. His name, I do not recall, but his scent, the cloying aroma of mint. Yes, whenever he smiled, which was far too often. I see. Thanks for your help. It does no good to interfere with the past, Mr. Wright. You will not uncover answers, only wounds. I'm sorry. I'd begun to notice a dark curtain hanging over Troop Grammar, and I began to realize what I had to do. I had to protect Trucy from the darkness. The reporter he mentioned, the newsman, I never knew who that was at the time. Though I've got a pretty good idea who it is now. That smile and the sickly sweet smell of mint. The last floss-thin thread connecting Zack Grammar to this world. Sooner or later, I'd have to track him down. I don't want to see him! Hey, that's all the past cleaned up. No. I don't want to look at him. Alright, what's next in the guide? Alright. Crunchy. No. Huh? Well, what do we have here? Remember me? Of course I remember you. Journalist meets ex-attorney in bar. End quote. Can I ask what you're doing here? Mr. Mission was poisoned, and his daughter's... Oh, yes, I know. Oh, how I know, yes! It's caused me no end of grief, to be honest. Journalist wishes he'd track down case just a little quicker. End quote. Were you on the trail of this case the whole time? Zack Grammar was a good friend. Zack said something to that effect back in the Borscht Bowl Club. Oh, you don't remember this dude? Really? How? What a character, what a man. If a little, no, a lot, no, extremely rough around the edges. Do you think I could ask you a few questions? Oh, you serious? I mean, I'm usually the interviewer, not the interviewee. Journalists ask questions, not the other way around. End quote. Your experience with this attorney is very strange, but have you not been here the whole time? Maybe it's a VOD you missed or something. Fine, shoot, I don't care. People have been asking me all sorts of things lately. You missed a stream? Oh boy. This'll be fun. It was tragic what happened to Drew Misham and his daughter. Forgery is a serious crime and they paid the price. You know what really did them in though, don't you? Yes, the forged diary page. The night I interviewed him, I found out something about Mr. Misham I hadn't known. What's that? You know, he always felt like he was being watched. Every day for 7 years. Walls have ears, potatoes have eyes. End quote. Being watched. You mean he felt guilty? No, I'm not talking about feelings here. What? You know, I felt watched too. The whole time I've been on this case, no less. Journalist gets tingling sensation on back of neck, freaks out, end quote. Because you felt guilty? Why would I feel guilty? You felt like you were being watched, huh? I wonder what that all means. Oh, the thing changed. I meant after that a case, actually. You mean the shooting of Magnifique Grammar? No, before that. It's not widely known. You mean the accident? During the quick draw shoot-'em practice? My, you're well informed! Oh, my phone service provider was texting me. Be quiet. You should have seen me back then. I dug up quite the scoop. I wanted it all. Money, fame, women, a little puppy. All for me. I was younger then, and my days and nights smelled of fresher mint than they do now. Alan Kramer did mention one particularly nosy reporter. In fact, I was on close speaking terms with Magnifique Grammar at the time. I knew his daughter, too, of course. The Lhasa, was it? Really? Then the Lhasa disappeared, quite suddenly at that. And Magnifique wouldn't say a word about it. Yeah, my evil habit got the better of me. Journalist catches scent of a scoop, goes on feeding frenzy. End quote. I set up a one-on-one interview with Lhasa's husband, see? Zach Grammar. Something strange was in the air over at Troop Grammar in those days. The whole screwy mentor-controlling disciple scene started by then, I'm guessing. The Lhasa, she was part of it all, right? Go on, you can tell me, off the record. Sorry, I don't know. Anyway, I kept prying and eventually became friends with Zach. Sure, he punched me once or twice, or 5 times. But over time, he came to see me as his confidant. Your mission felt like he was being watched. And you along with him. You sure it wasn't just nerves? Nerves? No, it's nothing so mundane. I stopped paying attention to my nerves a long time ago. But I felt it too! Journalist, sure he is being watched, end quote. Don't you wonder why Zach Grammar got rubbed out after 7 years? Right after coming into contact with me? He completely vanishes from that courtroom. Then, for 7 years, he talks to no one. Not a soul! Then, just as the remaining time was almost up, he contacts me in order to have this made. And then he dies. Starting to put the pieces together, are we? And you were being watched this whole time? Maybe not just me. Maybe you were too. Me? He's been waiting this whole time. 7 years, eh? Waiting? For his big comeback, of course. A big revival of the Magnifique Miracle. Of course it was all a dream. Because of this. The performance rights. In the absence of any official documents, he was golden. Who'd to say the old man didn't give his rights to both Zach and Valiant? So Valiant waited until Zach died. Legally at least, not tragically. The time finally comes and Valiant's like a kid on Christmas morning. He's getting ready for his show at the Sunshine Coliseum, you know. If that document sees the legal light of day, it's going to put a bit of a damper on the big show. He's a sorry one, that Valiant Grammar. Lost out to his partner at work, and in love, too. Love? It's the same old story, really. 2 disciples and their mentor's only daughter. What has 3 sides and all of them pointy? A love triangle. That is pretty classic. When you're in a performing troupe, that's your world. It's like family. One with an entire high school's worth of drama, intrigue, and backstabbing. And in the middle of all this, the Lhasa has Trucy. And then she dies. I need to find out more about this Lhasa. Present? Presenting? I can't bring up profiles. Do you want to look at this? Oh. Wait, oh no, I wanted... Mr. Brushel, do you know this person? Do I know that person? Of course! I was friends with Zach, after all. Hit me a few times. 5 times, actually. But still, I'd never forget his wife. The Lhasa Grammar. Magnifique Grammar's only daughter. Do you think you could tell me more about her? Well, why the heck not? Thank you. Tell me. Thank God. So, the Lhasa married Zach and had Trucy, see? It was her second marriage, actually. You mean she was divorced? I hadn't heard this one before. Not quite. Her late husband was a performer, too. He died in an accident on stage. Tragic, really. They had only been married 1 year. I didn't know. Ah, but she was a beauty. I still carry a portrait photo of her around, you know? That's fucking weird, dude! I'm gonna carry around a photo of my friend's dead wife. I've known Tracy since she was a little thing, too. She got the better deal, really. She's got you for family, after all. Huh? What do you mean? Just reminiscing, you know. Thalassa has another child besides Trucy. End quote. What? But Trucy said she was an only child. Yes, I also want to sleep with that dude's wife energy. Ah, yes. This one she had with her previous husband. Her previous husband? Her first husband who died on stage? Yep, they had themselves a kid. Another orphan now. That's another one who slipped through the cracks. No idea where they are now. Thalassa had another child? Do you think I could borrow that photo? Sure. I can be generous on occasions, you know. Thanks for giving me a photo of your friend's dead wife. I won't need this locket anymore. Better return it to Trucy before I forget. People and events all get tangled together and get bigger and bigger. Don't you think? I was too busy wondering about bigger to listen to anything you were saying. Excuse me. Sometimes you just gotta accept that you won't be able to untangle it all, I think. Dying on stage is a way to describe what happened, yeah. Christ! Maybe so, but still. I have to do what I can. And I have to tell what I find to those who come next. Next, you say? I'm not the only one who will close the curtains on this little play. Apparently, that's not my role anymore. Ah! Magnifi. I was just wondering what Magnifi would think of all this. What do you mean? Haven't you seen it, Trucy? She's got his power. You mean how I can't lie to Trucy? It was the same with Magnifi. And with his daughter, Thalassa. It's a strange thing. You think it's some grammar gene? Magnifi told me once, back when Zack married Thalassa. He said Zack had good eyes. But not good like a Grammarye's eyes. Not that good. I wonder if Zack ever played a game of poker with his wife? Who knows what the Grammarye secret was? Maybe nobody, now that Zack's gone. Zack Grammarye. I'm glad this guy didn't have Cyclops. God, it looks fucking weird. The plot had finally begun to reveal itself. It spread from a warp in the Grammarye fabric and grew, swallowing everything, wrapping itself around the Grammarye's power. A power which passed from Magnifi Grammarye to Thalassa, to the next generation. And it would once again need to meet the one who bridged it all together. I think I go to the Coliseum next. Nope, I go to the Ball Club. Yes, the secret. I have to know more about this power of Trucy's. It's like she can see right into people's minds. The first time I saw her do it, it blew mine. And after you were done having your mind blown, you took her to play cards with you. Gotta use this resources at hand, I always say. Yet, I myself have no such power. But Trucy does. Why's that? Yeah, that's why I draw Trucy darker than she is. Maybe Trucy got her power from her mother? Because even Thalassa isn't as pale as Trucy is. I will not speak of that! Thalassa's officially missing, correct? And I think I know why you don't want to talk about her. She's fucking dead! The three of you were a team once. Not that the entire country doesn't already know this. At your peak, you were the biggest stars around. Yet, there's another story behind the frame. One that not many know. Thalassa lost her life during a rehearsal. To you and Valent, Grammarly's bullets. It was an accident! It wasn't me! How could I shoot my dear Thalassa? I'm sure Valent would say the same thing. Why, it's just like another murder I might mention. Damn you! Her eyes. I loved Thalassa's eyes. To think they could read my mind was frightening. Yet there was a warmth in them that felt like an embrace. She is dead, and Magnific Grammar has joined her. So the only one with her power left now is Trissy? Mr. Zack? I do not know. I don't need any power to see through that one, buddy. So there's someone else. Someone other than Trissy. Someone who inherited Thalassa's power. Ha! Ha! How would I know? My chances are slim. It would take a miracle to learn the truth. Or maybe one has already occurred. There is someone else with the power, and I know who. What guy? This boy? His name is... I forget. Something weird. Who could he be? An attorney. Attorney? I noticed him when I went to visit a friend's law offices. So, what are we to make of this, oh great ex-attorney? You can show me pictures of strange boys all you like. But you could at least say something, like, I'm this boy. I could use a laugh. Perhaps you wouldn't laugh if you knew the facts. This might not be 100% proof, but it's close. There's a link between this boy and Thalassa. Actually, it's more of a ring. A ring? Perhaps this will refresh your memory? I just so happen to have evidence showing this missing link. I fucking hope it's this photo of Thalassa. Actually, I know something. Your marriage to Thalassa was her second. How did you know this? Her first husband, he died a year after they were wed, yes? He was a performer. They met when he joined us Grammarites as a guest on her show. After Thalassa wed him, she left the troupe for a while. And you say she had a child then? I have a photograph of her here. Hey, look at your dead wife. I couldn't help notice what she was wearing when I first saw this. Those bracelets stand out. They are a Grammarly family heirloom. This boy wears a bracelet just like the ones in this picture. What? So, that's why! Why what, Mr. Zack? I took this photograph of Thalassa before she left us. When she returned, she wore only one bracelet. I bet I know where that other one went. She gave it to this boy. Her son. Ah! Tell me. This strange power, I myself do not know where it comes. Yet, the fact is that it is passed down the Grammarly line. It runs in their vein. I love how this is like never fucking ever explained. Just like, yeah, there's magic fucking power, who care? I appreciate them not trying to justify it, actually. What is it? I asked her, Thalassa, once. This is what she told me. Because their only justification for the power is that, like, the... If I remember right, it's that the bracelet is made of a special alloy that the Grammarly's skin reacts to. And it, like, shrinks, or their skin expands. It's fucking weird. It's like, no, just say its magic power is... Please, I'm begging you. It's really goofy. My fucking slap bracelet that tells you if people are lying. The metal bracelet that shrinks and squeezes your arm is maybe the funniest thing I've ever heard anyone try to justify a game power as. Yeah, it's a magic alloy that could just, like, what are you fucking talking about? There's probably real extant metals that do that, but or power responds to tension in others. Tension? If you were to face a person and they became tense, even slightly, then she would know, no matter how hard they tried to hide it from her. The Grammarly's that bracelets. So she could see it? It's like much more. It would make most more sense if they're just like, yeah, they're just empaths or whatever. Not quite. This is the strangest part of it all. she wouldn't realize that she was subconsciously detecting the tension without the use of a particular object, or, in her case, objects. Objects? Wait, were they something she wore? Yes, her bracelets. I admit the first time I saw one of those, I felt like there was more to it than just fashion. But what kind of power could a bracelet have? God, no, not the mink slap bracelet! No! I have made a decision. I will tell you all I know. Consider it a gift. Thanks. To see it, Apollo. Well, I hardly need you to tell me at this point, but those two are brother and sister, yes. And the brother, too, has this power of theirs. So Trissy has an older brother. I wonder what will come of that. Fucking nothing! Mr. Wright. Tonight, after our game is done, I will return to a life of hiding. I would not see her live her life without knowing. I understand. I'll tell the two of them when the time is right. I am in your debt, once again. No kidding. It still makes me a little mad that they never get told. It's like, what I want to know is how all this got to be all this got to be so messed up. Those bracelets are made of a special alloy. Yeah, here it is. It is said to expand and shrink, even slightly, in response to body warmth. So they're temperature sensitive or something? Yes. AA7, I don't fucking even know if AA7 is gonna get made. This is how they can shrink to the exact size of the wearer's wrists. And this has something to do with the power? What have I told you? The Grammari power reacts to tension in others. When a Grammari senses tension, they, too, become tense. And this tension translates into minute contractions of the muscles. So minute, they cannot sense it on their own. Their muscles? Oh, so that's what the bracelets are for. With the bracelet on, one can sense these contractions. Because the bracelet is always a perfect fit. So when the person they're watching gets tense, the bracelet feels tighter on the wrist. Precisely. But that alone doesn't really count as mind reading. I believe I understand how the process works from there. I do still adore that joke. The joke that AA7 is gonna take place on the fucking moon because they keep escalating Ace Attorney's stakes. It's a simple question of eyesight. Eyesight? Also, here's my thing. If for AA7 they decide to introduce a new lawyer, they're fucking stupid. My opinion on AA7 is it should either be it should either feature Athena because she didn't get to have her own game, or Apollo because of where we left off in AA6. Phoenix should not feature in AA7. He should not feature in AA7. If they want to include Phoenix, they can write him an extra case, or make him in the finale where he can face off against Miles, because that's all anybody wants to see in a Ace Attorney. But if AA7, I would also accept AA7 if it's a back and forth between Athena and Apollo's points of view, and that way you can have Phoenix as co-counsel for Athena. He shouldn't be the main lawyer. I'm fucking sick of him. I love Phoenix, but he should not have been a lawyer again. He should have stayed a mentor, and I stand by that. Yeah, but like, if AA7 doesn't feature Apollo or Athena, it's like, what are we fucking doing here? I'm still like, man, whatever. We're playing Ace Attorney 4. I guess that sounds simple enough. Have you ever heard of kinetic vision? Something about the ability to see moving objects with full clarity, right? I've heard of it before. They say athletes can see a moving ball as if it were stopped, if they focus. Like Phoenix and Miles have a European vacation, yeah. Excuse me. Oh, but it's not confined to sports alone. I would also accept if AA7 was like a weird hybrid between mainline Ace Attorney and Ace Attorney Investigations, where it's like a back and forth between like the new lawyers and Phoenix and Miles just fucking around in Europe. It would be bloated and terrible to play, but that's like the only time I would accept like a Phoenix main, is if he's not in court. I just want them to stop. It all relies on the ability to focus. When we focus, we can see many things. The faintest twitch of the face, and the meaning that lies behind it. Ah! Therein lies one of the secrets of magic. One must know the mind of a crowd before one may distract it. So, basically what you're saying is, the Grandways can see really well. For them, seeing is more than believing. It is knowing. Their power relies on eyesight combined with exceptional focus. Things are starting to come to focus for me, too. Of course, it is difficult to maintain such levels of focus for any length of time. But what if someone could tell you when to focus? Or something. Precisely. But wait, Trucy doesn't have any bracelets. You are talking about poker, yes? The timing of when to focus is so elementary she probably does it without thinking. Ah. I doubt Trucy herself has realized this. That is all I know of things Grammari. Thank you, Mr. Zack. If this boy's bracelet is the real thing, then he will use it before long. How has he never used it in his entire life? he went to high school. Thereby awakening his power. Well, keep that in mind. Also, he did go to... He would have done mock trials in college! How is he never... Well, shall we play a game? I guess maybe because the trials were mock, so it wasn't real? I don't know. I've said so much. Let me say one more thing. I will tell you of that night. That night? The night my mentor, Magnific Grammari, passed from this world to the next. Ah! There were 2 pistols and 2 letters sent. This was Magnific's test. A test? In his last years, Magnific Grammari worked us to the bone. No, to the pain. What does that mean? But that night, I could not shoot him. So I shot the clown's forehead instead. This, it seems, was the correct answer. Take this. I give my art to you, Zack. What voice am I doing? What? It is thanks for playing along with my show. You shot well tonight, Zack. Though I would not have minded dying by your hand. How could I shoot you? You're my mentor. Ah! I thought you might say that. If I went home without shooting anything, what would you have done then? Then, of course, I would have given Valent his chance. And if I had shot you in the forehead instead, then it would be over. If you or Valent were to shoot me in the head, then I to the darkness would go, and my art with me. A fitting end, don't you think? Ah. Yet this ending, too, gives me no cause for regret. I thank you, Zack. And I am sorry. I have done much that was wrong in my day. It seems to me that Magnifi wanted you to be his successor all along. That's why the time he gave you was earlier than Valent's. Perhaps, but it is not something we'll ever know for sure now. I wonder, what is Valent up to these days? Waiting for you to die? If 7 years passes like this, the performance rate's go to him. Ah. And now here I am, and his dream has ended. It's worse than that, actually. Public opinion's a fickle thing, you know? What? You don't mean to tell me they put the blame on our mentor's death for our mentor's death on him? The trial ended when you vanished, Mr. Zack. There were even rumors that Valent had helped you pull it off. But that's madness! Well, it seems that before I can once again disappear from this world, I have one more act to perform. Hmm? Isn't it odd that sorting out my life should prove so complicated, even though I'm dead? This guy makes me insane because he just fucks off and comes back and is like, what? You mean that people... You mean that people got smacked for me just fucking off in the middle of a trial? What? What are you talking about? Yeah, bud. It was a murder trial. That night, Zack Grammari was killed. He died as Shady Smith, a mysterious traveler with a secret past. But he left one thing behind before he parted. Did they not get fingerprints off him? This. Dental records? He's such a fucking deadbeat. His confession, to you as I saw fit. Of course, he'd killed no one. This was a way of tying up loose ends with his old performer, Valent Grammari. Top 10 worst dads in Ace Attorney. I probably probably go to the colony next. Everyone's dad has to suck. It's either your dad sucks, or he's dead, or you don't have a dad, if you're an Ace Attorney character. Like, Miles' dad was a good dad, but he got killed. Apollo's dad was probably also a good dad, but he died. I don't remember the name of his adoptive dad, but he was like, okay, I think, in terms of like what he was doing. Not that being a revolutionary is bad, but you know. There's only so much you can do when you're like wanted by the government. Well, this is a blast from the distant past. Yeah, Dirk seemed okay. Especially because like I think it's implied he co-parented with Dats. So Apollo just had like 2 weird dads basically. Good for him. What other dads exist in Ace Attorney? Because the thing about Ace Attorney is not many people's parents are actually mentioned. Oh! Sisato's dad, Eugene. He seems like a good dad. Sholmes is fucking stupid, but he's a good dad. Are there any dads? Yeah, Apollo has like 4 dads. I mean, Phoenix is a good dad, but he's Phoenix. Gay rights, this player character has 4 dads. Diversity win. What's Von Karma fucking sucked. I'm like trying to remember every dad. DGS2 spoiler. Mr. Misham seems like an okay. He seems like a miserable dad, but like that house seems pretty miserable, so I can't really blame him, I guess. Though he is using his daughter for forgery work, so he's a bad dad. Kataki has a dad, yes. He is a mob boss, but he is running a bakery now because he wants clean money for his son's surgery, so that's like good. He's like a neutral dad. Is there like a category dads on the Ace Attorney wiki? Don't look if you haven't played DGS 2. Don't look at it if there is one. But yeah. Long time no see, Mr. Valiant. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a category parents. 7 years has it been? Because there, if I remember right, there's a category orphans on the wiki. 7 years has it been? Frankly, I didn't think I'd ever see you again. Actually, I came because there's something I want to ask you. I've spoken to the press. I've nothing more to say. I've spoken to a lot of people myself and come to some conclusions. Yeah, don't take my word for that, but oh! Kay has a dad, but he dies. And I also don't know much about him. I'm just gonna remember all the dads in Ace Attorney now. But then I realized I needed to hear it from you. I have walked a difficult road these past 7 years. Because you couldn't perform Magnifi's repertoire? Do not be deceived! Valiant's skill is the real deal. I do not require my mentor's hand-me-downs. No, it was my partner who showed me on my way. Zach Grammar, Okay. His rather well-performed disappearing act 7 years ago was the end. Or so I thought. Zach Grammar murdered our mentor and fled to escape punishment for his crime. You said something to that effect 7 years ago, didn't you? I remember it as if it were only yesterday. Yet that was not the way of it in the end. For while he vanished, the suspicion upon my own person never did. His partner Zach vanished to protect him. That's what those thieving magpies of a press said. I had no idea. Yet that very same press comes to me now, feigning interest. They cover the greatest magic show in history as if it were a but of alien distraction. And here must I stand, smiling at them all. What am I if not a player in some fiendish farce? Might I suggest it's because you never made it clear what happened? Magdafi's death is still a mystery to this day. Which is why I came here to get the real answer from you. I knew I'd be seeing those sooner or later. The audience has no business stepping upon the stage. They must be content to sit and stare at the spotlight. That sounds an awful lot like something I heard 7 years ago. Do I have everything for this? Probably. I probably do have everything for it. Yep. Ooh, my frames. Ask what you will, you'll get nothing from me. I'm as much a part of this affair as you are now. I have to know what happened. For 7 long years I have endured. Now, finally, the curtain lifts on my new golden stage. All the miracles of our troupe within my grasp. Sorry to do this, Valiant, but right now I need answers. I think I'll start by dropping a bomb. That should shake things up. Valiant, I wouldn't be so sure about those miracles. Not as long as I have this. Wave in front of your nose. Take that! And what might that be? I see it bears the Grammar seal. I should have brought this to your attention sooner. But I didn't imagine you'd be planning your comeback quite so fast. What is this? A document showing the true recipient of the performance rights to Magdafi's miracles. What? Zach Grammar, he wrote this? What? He passed everything to his daughter? Tricia Naguar. Actually, she's officially my daughter these days. Preposterous! Zach is gone, vanished into the void. This is the genuine article. Zach was alive when he wrote this. Both myself and the notary can attest to this. Ugh. Wah! Why? Why does fate toy with me so? Why must my life be lived in thrall to the dead? You're not the only one with that problem. But he shot Magdafi. Yes, it was Zach. It was! And then he left, and my career as a magician fell into darkness. Do you think there might be some way out of it? Say, if you could prove Zach Grammar shot Magdafi? Was that why you testified? Yes, my way out. It should have been my way out. Well, it might not be too late, Mr. Valent. All you need is a way to prove your case. Who really killed Magdafi Grammar? Why must I live with my life enthralled to the dead is a really, really good line. Really excellent line. And can apply to a lot of Ace Attorney characters. I believe I have the answer to your prayers right here. Zach Grammar wrote one more thing before passing on. Sorry, my nose is like all stuffed up. This is a confession, in which he admits the killing of Magdafi Grammar. See? All according to your plan. I am a magician by trade. Deception is my life's work. It is a mission statement of the series. I fool the audience, give them a fleeting dream. Yet, it seems the tables have turned. Now I am the audience, believing in the deceptions I have wrought upon myself. Zach wrote this right in front of me, after I explained your situation to him. Alaka... Zoology... You do know what this confession is nothing but lies? Yes, it's my opinion that Zach Grammar killed no one. And you must be thinking the truth is a simple matter of elimination. 2 received instructions to kill, but if one is innocent? Yeah, the Grammars all get like really good lines, but Valen in particular is like, I'm trapped in a fucking cage and I want out. And the one who remains is guilty. That would be a logical conclusion, yes. So he vanishes to protect me, his partner. Ha 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 ha. A stirring tale, 'tis true. Did you shoot Magdafi Grammar in the forehead? Let's talk about this in a public park. If I had, and I told you, what would you do? Run to the police, perchance? Do as you will. There is nothing left for me now. It is true, after all. I have little talent. I needed my mentor Magdafi's repertoire. It was as if a little demon grabbed a hold of me. I knew it. So Valen Grammar, I did kill the great Magdafi. Ha 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 ha. So sorry, Mr. Wright, but it was not I who shot my mentor. What? But if it wasn't you, then who was it? There wasn't another disciple, was there? Another disciple, such as, I don't know, knack and talent grammar, maybe? Your wild fancies couldn't be further from the truth. Only Zach and Valent received those threatening letters. But there was another. One more person could have fired that pistol that night. I don't suppose you figured it out by now? It wasn't Zach or Valent who shot Magnify. Then it had to be the only other person at the scene, which means... wait. You don't mean... Yes, the great Magnify Grammari himself. So, Magnify Grammari committed suicide? You find it hard to believe? To be honest, I hadn't even imagined it as a possibility. When I arrived that night, the old man was still alive. He appeared to be asleep. I could not shoot him. But when I turned and made to leave the room, the old man called out to me. So you spoke with Magnify Grammari? Yes, and this is why I knew what he had done. Magnify transferred the rights to his repertoire to my partner, Zach Grammari, not me. I see. Then I guess I owe you an apology. I always thought you were the one who did it. You owe me no apology. Huh? My crime was, in a way, more serious than that of murder. What? Your crime? Is Valent Grammari confessing something to me? What could be more serious than murder? Tearing of a crime scene. You see, I knew that 2 letters had been sent. Ah! There are no secrets between partners. It was easy to find out. That was when I understood Magnify's plan. He wanted to die by one of your hands? Little did I expect it had anything to do with the rights to his repertoire. That was when I heard it. The little demon whispering inside my heart. The demon. Let me confess, I had intended to shoot Magnify. And I planned on framing my partner for the crime. What? That night, I prepared something before going to Magnify's hospital room. Which was... IV fluid, of course. I'd seen it on an earlier visit. If Zach did not shoot, I would do the deed. Then, I would use the IV liquid to place the murder on his hands. That was my plan. But you didn't shoot him. You could not. The demon in my heart fled when the moment came. But then Magnify called me back. I am sorry, Valent. I am giving my magic to Zach, not you. You still lack the draw he has. Please, help him if you can. I left the room. And then I stopped. The shock of what I had just been told consumed me. That is when I heard that fateful gunshot. Magnify Grammari killing himself. Then the demon awoke anew within me. Zach killed him. He was the one. Frame him, and the magic will be yours. How do you shoot yourself in the forehead? I know it's possible, but those guns are like really long. And it's kind of hard to move your wrist that way. I altered the scene of the suicide. I took the pistol from his hand, wiped off the prints. Then I used the syringe to add the IV fluid I brought. So in the end, things happened pretty much as planned. Magnify died and you framed Zach for his murder. As planned, indeed. Of course, the outcome was somewhat different than I had anticipated. Well, what do you think? Do you believe my story? Can it be believed, truly? That was 7 years ago. I don't know what to believe, but... yes. I'm glad I heard it from you, Mr. Valent. Thank you. It is I who should be thanking you, Mr. Wright. Only when I had lost everything could I make my decision. You're going to turn yourself in? My partner may have vanished, but not so my guilt. And as my guilt stays, all else begins to leave me. My friends, my performance rights, my magic. I've had enough of vanishing acts. I understand. I thought my life was ruled by a dead man. But I find I was wrong. For Zach Grammari was alive. Not anymore. And now, it occurs to me, what if he was not the only one who survived? What do you mean? You see, now that I think about it, I realize that No. We never saw proof of her demise. We never saw her body. Her? The mind races and the mouth flaps on. My apologies. Forget this matter. I can only hope that the day will come when I again meet my partners at Grammari. Then, I shall apologize for my terrible mistake. I'm glad we had this chance to talk. Thank you. At Grammari. Shady Smith. Whichever name you prefer, he's no longer with us. The truth revealed in that trial was only a sliver, and the impenetrable darkness that remained was taking another life. I knew what I'd have to do to push back the darkness for good, and it would involve paying that man a visit. Can I save here? Yes, I can. I mean, I don't want to suspend. Well, we're not done. Okay. Alright. I am going to go get Lunk. And I will put on music. And we'll be right back. expect to have fun too. Ah, it's Luke Atmey's theme. His theme is called I Just Want Love? What? That's incredible. Alright. Back to the video game. Be quiet at me. Time to go say hi to stinky fucker bastard. Sorry, sir. Prisoner Crosstalk Cabin is currently occupied. I see. Do you know when he'll be finished? Well... Could you go find out? Certainly, sir. Please wait here a moment. My apologies to the guard, but there's something I need to say. Why'd they let him in the cell? There it is, the yellow envelope. And the sender is True Misham. I was right. Arrived at the studio, Mr. Misham was at his desk. Excuse me. He seemed to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope. It was a yellow envelope. I heard it was left at the crime scene. This is the last letter that True Misham wrote. There's something I need to do. The last thing I need to do, in fact. Commit a federal crime. Here goes. Let's see if this after can spray vents. Okay, he's not opening it. Yeah? So this is your Misham's messenger of death. It was the stamp, alright? No mistaking it! And his last letter was sent to Christoph Gavin. Oh, he does read it. Phoenix, that's a crime! You're committing a crime, Phoenix. Gotcha. Ooh. Finally. Decisive evidence. What's this? A burglar in jail? Gavin! I didn't know you mutilated in larceny, right? Gavin, there's something I have to ask you. Can I steal your stuff? The answer is no. My apologies, but there's not much here to discuss. Vera Misham hasn't received a verdict yet. You follow me, Gavin? There are no survivors of atriocanine. Excuse me. There are no known survivors of atriocanine poisoning. But it never hurts to hope. I hate him. Is it purple? I'd say it's more of a blue. No, I guess it's more purple leaning. It's like a dark violet or some shit. Okay, I'll be leaving now then. Right? Wait. Yeah, Gavin? Would you mind leaving that letter? It's private. Oh, sorry. Forgot I had it. Many thanks. When I saw this the first time, I lost my fucking shit. And Kristoff becoming Fish Islands. I lost my mind. We've now seen all the clues in this case. Clues I gathered over 7 long years. It's pretty goofy. Now, it is time. Every story has an ending. You've come to the final chapter, the final trial. Find the truth. You're the only ones who can. It's 1:20 and I just took a break, so we can keep going. But I don't know how far we'll get. Welcome to court. 7 years, all leading to one verdict. A verdict which you must decide. Is the defendant Vera Misham innocent or guilty? The courtroom doors are opening. The trial awaits. Are you ready to begin? inside me, rising, surfacing. Oh no, your internet! Something important. Lost long ago. It's close now. So close. Court is now in session for the trial of your omission. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution's ready to rock. Prosecutor Gavin, how is the defendant, Vera Misham's condition? Acute atropine poisoning. According to her physician, she could die at any time. Thus, her absence from courtroom today. What? They can't put her on trial without her being here? It is unusual. Should wait for her to get better and do it then. It's so bureaucratic of them. That's being a little harsh. Can't delay the trial any longer. Or they risk having no one left to try. Trial without a verdict can only cause grief. The records of this case and experience tell us this. Apologies to the defendant, but the show must go on. Right. If Vera dies, the trial will be cancelled. I'm not gonna let that happen. Mr. Wright told me everything that's been going on behind the curtain all these years. I'm gonna get Vera her innocent verdict while there's still time. Very well. Your opening statement, Prosecutor Gavin. Excuse me. I can never say this word. The prosecution's case is unchanged by recent events. Why did Vera Misham succumb to poison? Because she couldn't live with the guilt of what she'd done. Objection! But Vera was poisoned with atropine, the exact same poison that took her father's life. What better confession could you ask for? Being the killer, she would have had access to the poison. Significant, since it's rather hard to come by. That is true. In other words, I see no need for further discussion. We could have had our verdict yesterday. Well, Mr. Justice? I forgot this. Yeah. It's really a lot to come back to the trial reel and you're like, oh yeah, we were doing this. Just pre-prep the walkthrough in case I need it. This is the last section of the walkthrough. We might finish today. I might at least make us finish today. I'll see how long my voice lasts. I might just take another break in that case, because I don't think there's much game left. There might be like 1 or 2 hours at most, which is like a lot, but... If you have no objections, I see no reason to postpone the verdict. What we need to worry about isn't the verdict, but the trial itself. The defense holds that Vera Misham is the victim, not the killer. If that's so, then you have to prove something. She was in court giving her testimony before us. Maybe not, actually. Trying to remember the timeline of these attorney games is literally impossible. How do you propose her killer poisoned her? Oh, and incidentally, it would have been nice if you told us who her mystery killer was. The prosecution's objection is sustained. I asked the defense to prove his claim to the court. Tell us how Vera Misham was poisoned. I've got 2 things to prove here. Who did it, and how? Which to hit first? How? How did the killer poison Vera Misham? I will focus first on the method used. Any comments before we begin, Prosecutor Gavin? Not a bottle or container of poison was found in the defendant's body. I see. So the vector of poisoning is unknown. Is the defense prepared to prove how the poison reached Vera Misham? Yes, Your Honor. Very well. What method was used to poison Vera Misham? This fucking thing. What's this? My, what a beautiful bottle! I'd like to give whoever designed that a hand. Is that nail polish? It's colorless. Ah! Something the matter? No, nothing. Nothing at all. So the killer put poison in this bottle and made her drink it? As Prosecutor Gavin has told us, this is nail polish. Nail polish. It's like paint for nails. Know any women with red nails? Ah, my wife has red nails. I see. So she's been painting them all this time. Judge, let's recall yesterday's trial. Remember when Vera was testifying to the court? Court is not back in session. She was pretty tense. It really kills me how, like, no thoughts how empty the judge is. The judge in DGS is not that bad. I feel like he's, like, smarter. She's practically chewing her fingernails off. Whenever Vera became nervous, she had a habit of biting her nails. Her nails. Ah! Prosecutor Gavin? When the prosecution had Vera examined, did they check her nails? Bailiff! Have them check the defendant's nails at once. Mr. Justice! Yes? Do you know who did this? Do you know who put the poison in the nail polish? Yes. That bottle belongs to Vera Misham? Why do you ask? You know someone else who might have a bottle like this? No, just checking. Mr. Justice. Shut up, Aster. You are about to accuse someone of poisoning that bottle of nail polish. Please dispense with the chatter. You realize the weight of this accusation? Here, let me show you. Understood, Your Honor. No problem. I know what I'm doing this time. Yeah. Let us ask. Who poisoned Vera Mission via her nail polish? This fucking guy. What's this? Christoph Gavin?
Objection!
What's your game? My bro. There's no way he could do a thing like that. You should know that better than anyone else. Indeed. He is behind bars. I know. However, that doesn't mean it was impossible to do what he did. My bro. What? Ask yourselves when he put the poison in the bottle. Excuse me. It could have been yesterday. It could have been a month ago. Maybe it was a year ago? Or perhaps it was 7 years ago. But Christoph Gavin had no motive for killing this poor girl. It's simply inconceivable. Yeah, translations. Prosecutor Gavin doesn't seem to think so. It is very fun. I still don't know if he was stopping at my bro or if he was going to say my brother but interrupted himself. I don't know. I would have to find the Japanese text and like try to translate it, rip it out, but I just... That face tells me one thing. Christoph Gavin's own younger brother doesn't find it inconceivable at all. Well, Prosecutor Gavin, if you feel there is a clear and pressing need, then we may have to summon Christoph Gavin from jail as a special witness. Fine. I've known for some time that an impenetrable darkness lurked at the bottom of this. A darkness that has swallowed even myself. Okay. The defense's wish is granted. Let prisoner Christoph Gavin take the stand. Bailiff, bring proceedings to a call with special witness. Begin. The witness is Christoph Gavin, currently residing in solitary cells 13 at Central Prison. What's up? Ah, Your Honor. How nice to see you again. It's been quite a while, hasn't it? To what do I owe the pleasure of your company? It's not every day I'm summoned from my solitary cell. In fact, it's never. I think you already know, Mr. Christoph Gavin. Ah, Mr. Justice. I hear you've been doing quite well for yourself. Ah! Why do I feel like somehow he's still my boss? Stiff upper lip, Apollo! You can do it! Does this bottle look familiar? Ariadne nail polish? Why, yes, I use it myself. As did the late defendant, I hear. She's not dead yet! And? Was there something concerning this bottle you wish to ask me about? I admit I respect her for her taste in nail polish. Her taste, indeed! This nail polish was how Vera Mission was poisoned! Atricanine, was it? You're well informed about the case, Mr. Gavin. Even in solitary, much comes to my desk, and I have nothing to do but read. Well, Clavier? Maybe you can explain this? You're being accused again. By him. Again. And? You agree with his accusation, do you? Let's hold a proper trial, shall we? Christoph Gavin, your testimony, please. I'd be delighted. I do want to rip his hair spiral out of his scalp, too. The charges against you are quite severe, Mr. Gavin. You are suspected of the poisoning of the defendant via omission. I'm very pensive about Clavier. I want him to be let out of the Capcom basement, but also I know they won't treat him right. I'm sorry that I have boy-liking problems. I really like this one. Owning the same nail polish does not a murderer make. I have been in solitary confinement for half a year. How could I poison her? Her father died of the same poison, the meaning of which should be clear. The prosecution's case hold. She poisoned her father, then attempted to poison herself. Surely you aren't going to suggest I was responsible for poisoning her father too? Well, I'm afraid the defense's claim is sounding rather unlikely. Naturally. For one, I don't even know the Mishams. Isn't that so, Mr. Justice? Very well. Mr. Justice, begin your cross-examination. I'm accusing Christoph Gavin, my ex-boss. But I know he poisoned the Mishams. The question is, when could he have done it? Not to mention, why? Can't you still make contact with the outside world in solitary?
Objection!
Ah, so we had an accomplice on the outside? Is this your latest accusation? I am allowed a certain modicum of letter writing.
Objection!
But the contents of those letters are closely checked. It would be extremely difficult to send a hit request. Mr. Gavin's on the warpath, isn't he? Yeah, you think so too, Trucy? It's his brother. I bet I know why. He must be nervous with Big Brother watching. Maybe that's a weakness I can turn to my advantage. Are we cool with that? May I continue? Maybe what should we...
Hold it!
Tremendous is not dead yet. There are no known cases of someone surviving atropine poisoning. You seem to know a lot about atropine. I know a lot about a lot of things. Which is why I suggest we pick up the pace. Or else you'll be short one defendant, for what she's worth. The witness will refrain from speaking ill of the ill. My apologies. Shall I continue? Oh, door opening noise. Someone's come home. She poisoned her father and she attempted to poison herself. Is that the end of his... This is the last statement.
Hold it!
Both Vera and Mr. Mission were poisoned with atropine. That really can't be a coincidence.
Objection!
The defense is repeating fallacious statements based on conjecture. The prosecution requests concrete, unambiguous proof of the witness's crime. Excuse me. Objection sustained. The defense will please present concrete proof. Does Prosecutor Gavin seem strange to you too? It's like how he's all grown up. I think that's how prosecutors are supposed to be, actually. Though he is acting different than usual. But it has a lot to do with his brother Christoph being in the room. Well, let's make this testimony count, Apollo! Right. Quick and painless. My bracelet should do the trick. Fuck. Okay, questioning my ex-boss. His testimony seems watertight. He's lying. Sure, I'll be able to see something as long as I focus. It's probably this last statement. I'm praying. God, his eyes. What? Nope. His eyes, I'm scary. Oh god, this thing is so fiddly. Shit. Ah!
Gotcha!
It was you who killed Drew Misham. A bluff worthy of your new mentor, Mr. Wright. Oh, really? But you see, I saw it. Right when you said her father, too. Your hand tensed unnaturally, and a little devil appeared to give me the news. And let's assume, for the sake of argument, that you saw me being tense. What does that mean? Are all tense witnesses guilty? And tell me, was Mission fond of nail polish too? Sorry, but there's more than one way to poison a man. You don't need nail polish to get to someone's mouth. That's a weird line. Then I must be very talented indeed. You see... Excuse me. You see, Mission was killed on October 6th. Well, I was already in my solitary confinement cell at Central Prison. If that's not an alibi, then I don't know— Oh, that's Kristoff speaking. If that's not an alibi, then I don't know what is. But you found a way, all the same. And I found it too. This is how you poison Mr. Mission. You need it. Stamp. I'm sure this commemorative stamp requires no introduction. The night Mr. Mission died, he was seen writing a letter. Atrichanite was found on the stamp, Mr. Gavin. So am I to understand the stamp was the murder weapon? Yes, you are. Oh, and yes. The stamp was found in your prison cell. That is all, Your Honor. Order! 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 Poison on the back of that stamp? After Mission was killed, someone paid a visit to this witness's cell. Phoenix Wright. Daddy? That's when he found the stamp. You made Mission write you a letter. That's how you killed him. What? My. You've upset my poor brother to the point of uselessness. Allow me to clarify this matter, Justice. All you need to do is recall witness Spark Marshall's testimony. Oh, that's the thing, see? After he put his letter in that envelope, Mr. Mission sat there searching his desk drawer for something. Why does he know this? His desk drawer? A stamp! So-called postage stamp. He was looking for a stamp. Ergo, he had no intention of using this stamp. What are you getting at? What I'm arriving at is that this commemorative stamp was in a frame. It was mere coincidence that he used it that night. That would seem to be the case. Or perhaps you mean to suggest that ICE can somehow manipulate coincidence? He does have a point. How would this witness know if the victim was going to use that stamp? Without that, he wouldn't have planned the murder. Couldn't. What? Really, Clavier? You should be seeing through these weak-spined bluffs by now. He's right, though. How could anyone have known Mr. Mission could use that stamp that night? Least of all, Christopher Gavin locked away in his cell. Well, it seems that the defense has run out of things to say. You assume he had something to say in the first place. I believe the defense's bluff has been called. The defense's bluff? I'm not sure I agree with you there, Kristoff. Clavier. Honestly, I wanted to believe you. But the defense wasn't trying to get away with the bluff. You were, Kristoff! What are you saying? Prosecutor Gavin. Hair forehead. What was your accusation again? Huh? Oh, it was that this poison stamp killed Drew Mission. Yeah? To which my brother responded thusly. There was no way to know when Mission would use the stamp. Yes, that's right, which is why it couldn't have been planned. Tell me. It needs to be planned. Why? Why couldn't it have been a coincidence? The defense's case is simply that Drew Mission died by that stamp. That's all. Coincidence. Kristoff, you tried to slip out from under his accusation by changing the subject. If that's not bluffing, what is it? What are you up to, Clavier? I could ask you the same question, Kristoff. I silence the defense with the fewest words possible. It's called efficiency. But Mr. Gavin, that's impermissible testimony. Good God, when the Gavins hit. Very well, I shall take his claim head on then. Justice. What? You accuse me of Dervisham's murder, yes? Then, allow me to ask you. What possible reason could I have to kill the painter? Hollow! Move! Motive! He's talking about motive! Indeed. Oh, my frames. Gavin make me lose control. Gavin's make me lose control. It's hard to see how an attorney could come to want to kill a painter. Now there's something. Why didn't he bring up the motive from the very beginning? Yeah. Unless he was afraid it was a battle he might lose. So, what does it mean? It means there might be a weak spot. Maybe I have some evidence to prove a motive. A motive for murder. This is a vital, if not the most vital element in this case. Please consider this when making your statement. I'd say it's about this vital. That's pretty vital. Well, Mr. Justice? I said that weird. I'm going through with this no matter what. Understood, Your Honor. I'd like to present evidence. Then, let's see what you have for us. What reason did Crystal Gavin have for wanting to murder your mission? It's gotta be the fucking note. I hope it's this. Yes, the music stops. Crystal Gavin's motive becomes clear when we consider why the stamp came to Judicial Studio in the first place. And why was that? Forgery, Your Honor. Go back 7 years. Drew Misham accepts his first job creating forged evidence. I've seen that before. Page from a diary, wasn't it? Magnifi Grammarized diary. Ah, when attorney Phoenix Wright lost his badge, yes. This was the evidence he presented to his loss. This evidence is a fake, yes. But did Mr. Wright request the forgery be made? That was never proven. The defense attorney on the case was Phoenix Wright. Who, other than him, drunk with the prospect of victory, could have done it? And why would they? Just out of curiosity. Do you remember this letter? This is the first page. And this is the second. Those were presented in court yesterday. This letter was sent to Drew Mission by the client who requested that forgery. Why would he keep this around? The enclosed stamp was none other than the poison commemorative. Unless he was ever planning on exposing him for it, if I was a forger, I would burn any evidence that I was a forger. What the fuck is wrong with you? The enclosed stamp was none other than the poison commemorative stamp. Drew Misham drew his last breath just the other day. However, the motive for his murder was already 7 years old. 7 years old? The client who requested this forgery was very cautious. He tried to erase everything, and anyone who had connections to the forgery, to keep them from talking. But he made a mistake. Oh, excuse me, yawn. There was a picture of my favorite magicians, so I kept it. Father took me when I was very young. It was a great magic show. I loved it so much. Oh, my frames. The killer's time bomb was delayed. The poison stamp was sealed within a glass frame, where it sat for 7 whole years. Her forehead. Do you understand what you're telling us? The one who schemed up the forged diary page was the one who poisoned the stamp. And it was Phoenix Wright who presented the forged evidence 7 years ago. He didn't account for a special interest. You always have to account for the special interest. Adding the two statements together, the one who schemed to kill Drew Misham was none other than Phoenix Wright. Sorry, but that's not how this is going down. Oh? Then how will it go down? I checked through the records on that case, when I found this. 7 years ago, just before the trial began. Oh, old boy! Here! What's this? I don't know! I just got it over there in the hall! They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. And one more thing. I'm sorry to have sprung this on you so suddenly. I received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday. You understand I am asking the impossible of you. Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards. And that was enough. Phoenix Wright was put on the case the day before the trial started. He didn't have any time to request a forgery. The day before? Now here's a question. Who was Shady Anagar's previous defense attorney? No, this can't all be... But it is all true. There was another man, a defense attorney with a badge on his collar. It was you! Christoph Gavin! Order, order, order! What is the meaning of this, witness? I mean, defendant, or former lawyer? Let me begin by denying this.
Objection!
It's easy enough to look up, Mr. Gavin. And impossible to prove if you can't. Attorneys are registered with the court the day before the trial begins. In other words, no record remains in the court. How exactly did you intend to prove Phoenix Wright's claim? That would be difficult. I'm afraid this line of inquiry won't yield.
Objection!
Her forehead. Are you sure you don't have evidence? What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks clammy. Evidence! Evidence that shows this man, Christoph Gavin, requested that forgery 7 years ago. Clavier? Just prove it! Clear up these doubts now, or I swear I'm off this case! You must have thought of some evidence, Apollo. Prosecutor Gavin looks like he's in physical pain. That darkness. I have to pull that darkness out of him, and proof is the only way I can. What proves Christoph Gavin's link to Drew Misham? You claim Christoph Gavin requested a forgery of Drew Misham 7 years ago. Prove it! It can be proven. Simply ridiculous. Why even discuss it? This evidence does not...
Objection!
Are you telling the truth, Apollo Justice? I am. Then, I say we give him the benefit of the doubt. Very well, but if you're wrong about this, be prepared for a penalty.
Objection!
Your Honor, you do the defense an injustice. Mr. Justice is clearly passionate about his claim. Should the penalty not match his passion? I haven't given a penalty like that in a long time. Well, Mr. Justice? Fine, Your Honor. All I have to prove is any kind of link. Something that ties Christoph Gavin to Drew Misham. And I have something that clearly does the job. Is it the nail polish again? Show us the link between our witness and Drew Misham. I mean, it's either the letter he got or the nail polish. I love going to court and having a health bar above my head. I'm going to look it up though, because that's a big penalty. Oh, I have to scroll a bunch. Where am I? Where the fuck am I? I'm reading the guide. Yes. I'm reading it again just to make sure. You suffer a huge penalty. Present the letter.
Take that!
I do it. This evidence proves there's a link.
Objection!
That scrap of paper? I'm afraid I can't let you submit that. Is there some problem? There is. How could you possibly have that? You couldn't. Hey! That's Daddy's handwriting. Fuck's sake, Phoenix. Mr. Wright's handwriting? What is the meaning of this? Ah, I see now. Yes, of course. What do you mean, of course? I just remembered I had a visitor yesterday. Phoenix Wright came to my cell, except I wasn't there. Phoenix Wright? When I returned, I saw he had something of mine in his possession. Of course, I had no intention of letting him get away with reading my private mail. Mail? You mean this letter was in your cell? No. However, it appears Mr. Wright has yet to be cured of his bad forging habit. Well, if it's a forgery, it's not a very good one. The handwriting's terrible! This is Mr. Wright's reproduction of what was written in the real letter. Reproduction? When Mr. Wright visited Christoph Gavin's cell, he brought with him a small video camera. What? recorded his entire conversation with you, Mr. Gavin. And the contents of your personal mail. He committed a federal crime. Regardless, this mockery of a piece of evidence will never be accepted by the court. Evidence based on a video a man with no authority whatsoever claims he took. A man who happens to be an ex-attorney suspected of forgery. Prosecutor Gavin? Prosecutor Gavin? As embarrassing as this is for me to say, I'm afraid my brother is incapable of making rational judgments at this moment. Male crime! Male crime! Male crime! Your Honor, your decision, please. Phoenix commits a lot of crimes! He only cares about the truth. He does not. He's pretty amoral, honestly. I think amoral is the right word. It's like without morals. Like, he has morals, but they're not upstanding citizen morals. I love him. He sucks. The defense's claim is denied. What? Only actual evidence is permitted in a court of law. Please remove the defense's evidence from the record. Better luck next time, Justice. He is chaotic good. Well, we've certainly taken a detour from our cross-examination. But the defense appears to be lacking proof. I'm forced to end the cross-examination of Crystal Captain at this point. Apollo, do something! I'm thinking, but without evidence, I don't have anything I can use on him. Very well. This ends the special witness's cross-examination.
Objection!
Hey. That's my fucking guy. Show's over! The crowd screams for more. Only now do I understand why. Prosecutor Gavin? Frankly, I'm relieved. This has been bothering me for 7 whole years. And I'm tired of the whole youthful angst scene. Now's our chance. Let's clean out the family closet, eh, Christoph? Fabi, you're spinning out of control. Calm yourself before you say something you'll regret. Spinning out of whose control? Mine? Or yours? Take a moment to consider everything you've built. Your reputation as a prosecutor, your fame with the masses. You could lose it all, Fabi. Apollo, did you see that? He's trying to press Prosecutor Gavin. Prosecutor Gavin, try to remember. What's really important to you? You amuse me, Hair Forehead. I can forget what's really important to me, even if I tried. In fact, I haven't. Not even once. 7 years ago, when the Gavins hit. Finally. You just couldn't resist, could you, Hair Right? Resist what? Presenting solid evidence? Might I request to put this current cross-examination on hold? The prosecution would like to call a new witness. State your name and occupation for the record. I'm familiar with the trial. I've watched the video several times. Didn't you find anything unnatural about it? Unnatural? Well, you did seem unusually well prepared. I mean, Mr. Wright had only just presented his evidence. And the next moment, you call in Drew Misham. It was almost as if... What? Funny. Didn't even occur to me to wonder. But now that I do, I see there's only one possible explanation. Almost as if, from the very beginning, you knew Mr. Wright was going to present that evidence. Ah! Correct. I knew that if I applied the usual pressure, Phoenix Wright would eventually come up with that forged diary page. Don't do this, Clavier. I knew because you told me, Christoph. What? Shut up, Lenovo. I don't need to update my driver's advantage. It was the night before the trial. Clavier. Christoph? I'd seen you at the prosecutor's office the day before the trial. I won't be appearing in the trial, actually. Huh? Why not? I won't be facing off with you on your first trial, apparently. But in exchange, I brought information. Information?
The attorney who'll be there in my place tomorrow is not to be trusted. Don't even give him the benefit of your respect. Listen, I want you to call in a special witness. Then... I wondered about it at the time. How did Kristoff know so much? Prosecutor Gavin. Kristoff! We were supposed to face each other in that trial. A fair fight, brother to brother. I deserve that much. You let me borrow the victim's belongings. You showed me all your research on the case. The victim's belongings? Which would have included Magda's diary, wouldn't it? Yeah! This trial is so cool. Mr. Gavin? My, Clavier. You disappoint me. You find trees, yet miss the forest. You're the one missing the forest, Mr. Gavin. You can't sweep this under the rug. Not anymore. Tell me what was going on behind that trial. Why not? I've achieved what I came here to do. I see no harm in a little reminiscing. Apollo! I think we're finally going to shine a light on the black belly of this thing, Trucy. We've done everything we could. I hope it's enough. 7 years ago, the day before the trial, I visited the detention center at the request of my client, Zach Grammari. 2 cards. 1 card. Showdown time. Enough. You lose, Gavin. Thanks for the work. Now go. To be honest, I don't know what his reasons were to this day. As far as I could tell, he dismissed me as his representation because I lost in a game of poker. I can come to no other conclusion. Daddy used to say something. If you want to know a man, you have to compete. Zach wasn't watching his points or the cards. He was watching the man behind the cards, Kristoff Gavin. I couldn't believe it. Phoenix Wright? A second-rate attorney who relies on luck and bluffs. He dismissed me and went with that pitiful excuse for a man? He deserved to die for that error alone. Hold it! So, the one who requested that forgery was... Oh, I'm not admitting anything. My point is, these 2 men shamed me, and I could not forgive that. Phoenix Wright and Zach Grammari both deserved what they got. So you asked Mr. Misham to forge that evidence, so you could win. But then, when you were dismissed as Zach Grammari's attorney, you used your forged evidence as a trap. You fed me information about that forgery you made. Then you gave your dirty evidence to him. You're free to imagine what you will. My point is that all I had imagined came to pass. Everything went perfectly. Incredible. If I wasn't laughing, I'd weep. Prosecutor Gavin? Perfectly? You're mad, Kristoff. Stop fooling yourself. What are you talking about, Clavier? Tell me, how did that trial end? Cancelled, when the defendant vanished. Ah, I get it. So, Kristoff, you've been living in fear for 7 years. What? The last sprite is so good. You were afraid your forgery would be revealed and your reputation trashed. You couldn't leave things to chance. So you watched everybody involved with the case for 7 years. I really love the sprites in Ace Attorney. It's probably like some of the best like visual novel-esque sprite work. Because like Ace Attorney is a visual novel, but it's like a way gussied up visual novel. It's really good. So you watched everyone involved with the case for 7 years. You know, he always felt like he was being watched. That's what he said, every day for 7 years. But I felt it too! Journalists sure he's being watched, end quote. Don't you wonder why Zach Grammari got rubbed out after 7 years? Right after coming into contact with me? Well, wait just a minute! Zach Grammari was seen by this reporter? How is that possible? Was he alive after being gone 7 years? Finally. I knew this moment was coming. I just didn't think we'd get here so fast. Sakurai gone missing for 7 years. Trici's father. What's wrong, Apollo? Get him! Get his ass! Right. Leave it to me. Allow me to refresh the court's memory. 6 months ago, Christoph Gavin was charged with murdering a mysterious traveler. I remember him quite well. Shady Smith, was it? Poisoned in a Chinese restaurant. Tragic. The details don't really matter right now. What matters is the traveler was Zach Grammari. What is it, Apollo? Huh? Keep going. We'll talk about it later. Did she already know? Someone please explain this. Mr. Justice, can you explain this? It all started 7 years ago. The great magician, Magnifique Grammari's death started it. Magnifique Grammari's death and his student, Zach Grammari, the suspect. Whoever defended Zach in court successfully would be famous beyond belief. Thinking that, Christoph Gavin did the unthinkable. He forged evidence. Drew a mission? Actually, it was his daughter, Vera, who really did the work. You took precautions when you had that forgery made, didn't you, Mr. Gavin? Precautions? To keep people from talking, of course. These two know too much. Leave them alive and there'll be nothing but trouble. That's when you planned your poisoning of the forgers. Atrocanine. Applied to a commemorative stamp. But, luck was on Mr. Bishop's side. The bomb didn't go off. His daughter. She saved him by taking the stamp. I see. But that wasn't the only bomb he set up. The Ariadne nail polish, of course. You noticed something when you requested that forgery. When Vera Mission was nervous, she had a bad habit. A tendency to bite her nails. Oh! That nail polish was her good luck charm. She was almost kidnapped once. Since then, she's been, well, you can see it for yourself. She refuses to leave the house. That person gave me a good luck charm when I absolutely had to go outside. It protects me. Yes, apparently she received something, a gift. She won't tell me what it was. It was from that client, the one who wanted that note made. It was insurance. Insurance? As long as she lived quietly at home, there was no danger to her. But what if she had to go outside? If she ran into any trouble, she'd become nervous. And the nail polish would do the rest. This time bomb sat there for 7 years. And then they went off almost simultaneously. If you're finished, may I return to my cell now? I'm not accustomed to standing for such long periods of time. Mr. Gavin! Have you heard a single thing we've said? Oh, I listened quite closely to your little tale. Quite an entertaining piece of fiction. What? Xavier, surely you understand. Back to the evidence. The lacking evidence. Nothing proves the link between him and the Atrocanine that took Drew Mission's life.
Objection!
What about the restaurant? You killed Zach Grammari to keep him from talking. I killed no man of that name. Read over the report again if you like. The victim was a traveler by the name of Shady Smith, about whom we know little else. You can't seriously think I knew he was that particular fugitive.
Objection!
Okay, then why did you kill him? I plead my right to remain silent. Remember, this court did not convene to put me on trial. The defense's name is Vera Mission, suspected in the murder of her father. My trial's been finished for 6 months now. I'm afraid we have strayed considerably from our purpose here. This court concurs with the witness. It is defendant Vera Mission who is on trial here. No, but you were doing so good, Apollo! As long as there is no evidence to support the accusation against him, This course of inquiry cannot find Vera Misham innocent.
Objection!
Your Honor! Phoenix Wright spent 7 years collecting this evidence.
Objection!
You still don't get it, do you? Let us assume there was poison in the nail polish. Who then was responsible for causing Vera Misham to bite her nails? What? It wasn't me, I know that much. The one who brought that poison to her lips was you. What? Evidence is everything. There is nothing more. I believe this discussion has reached its conclusion. Your Honor! Mr. Justice, you have performed admirably well for a novice attorney. I respect your partner, Phoenix Wright's determination as well. However, without direct proof, you have nothing. Isn't that right, Clavier? Unfortunately, yes, Kristoff, you're right. That is, you would have been right until now. What? The news not reach your desk in solitary? The eyes of the nation are on this courtroom today. This is the trial case for a new judicial system. That's right! I'd totally forgotten. The jurist system! Jurists, you say? The current judicial system has been deemed too closed off from society. This new system attempts to inject the wisdom of common citizens into the law. Common citizens? Wisdom? Is this some kind of joke? What could we possibly gain by doing this? Entrusting our judicial system to a mindless, emotional mob of irrational mouth breathers? Common citizens have something called common sense. Common sense is not restricted by the law. Nonsense! This is the only room for two in this court. Me and the law. Keep the riffraff out. Out, I say. They're not in court, actually. They're watching everything by video camera. How can you allow this? Incidentally, the one responsible for making this happen was Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright? So, everything was leading to this. Of course. Right. 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 I won't accept. I can't accept. This is no court. Law. The law is everything. Law is absolute. You let ignorant swine soil your courts. Kristoff, it's over. Clavier! The law is absolute? You can't be serious. What? I love his bedraggled, like, swamp sprite. Swamp creature. Odd. I thought you spent your life looking for loopholes? The law isn't absolute. It's filled with contradictions. The law is the end product of many years of history, the fruit of human knowledge. Like a gem, polished to a gleam through trials and errors. It is this fruit we receive and pass on and face in our time. And it is always changing, growing. Nurturing it is our task as human beings. Except for you, Kristoff. You aren't changing. You've stopped. You're not needed. You're not needed anymore. I couldn't think of anything to say. Maybe because I still haven't seen enough. But someday, I'll know what law is. And I'll fight to change it if I have to. I see no need for further prolonging this trial. This began as the trial of Vera Misham, accused of murdering her father. The painter, Dermisham. However, several other incidents were reviewed, and we seem to have reached a conclusion. Before this court declares a verdict, I await your decision. Jurists of the court. For the death of Dermisham, how do you find the defendant, Vera Misham? Innocent or guilty? I turn to you now to consider this matter. sends the trial for this case. Only the verdict remains to be decided. Defendant Vera Mission is currently in intensive care. If a decision cannot be reached today, it may never be reached. The factors involved are simple. The defendant poisoned her father that night? If so, she is guilty. Or was there another reason for Mr. Mitchum's death? Did another person poison him? If so, she is innocent. A panel has been provided for each of you to input your decisions. That is all. Please, wait! Yes, jurist number 6? There's something in the jurist handbook here. Persons involved with the case may not be jurists. That is correct. I've looked into all your dossiers. None of you were involved with the development of this case. With the development of the case? I see. Does that answer your concern? It's time for your verdicts. Make your decision in the case against Vera Mission. After 7 years, the truth is ready to be heard. Judge wisely. Judge well. This stupid computer bullshit. I don't know, guys. What do you think? What do you... I'm pretty sure you can get a bad ending here. But I think it's just a black screen. We know what's up. We know who's the shit. Who's the fucker. We know who the fucker is. The hand is really... And so a verdict was reached on October 9, 2:14 p.m. The first verdict under the jury system that we never bring back for the rest of Ace Attorney! Innocent by unanimous decision. The record will show that when the verdict was announced, special witness Christoph Gavin laughed. A laugh louder than any ever heard before, or since. A laugh that echoed in the halls of justice, lingering for what seemed like hours. October 10, 8:30 a.m., the morning after the trial, in an intensive care ward, a true miracle occurred. Vera Mission opened her eyes. Vera! I'm so glad! Don't cry, Apollo! I'm happy too, and proud. You did well, Apollo. When I thought about... what if Vera... Hey now! Don't you start crying too! Sorry you had to see us like this. Vera? Thank you so much. Apollo, thank you. No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have pressed you like that. If I hadn't, you never would have bitten your nails. No, I was wrong. Staying locked inside like that, clinging to my good luck charm. Vera, when I opened my eyes, I saw you. I finally understood. It's important to be a part of the world. To see things with your own eyes. It looks like that poison had some effect after all. Weird thing to say, bud! It killed off whatever was holding Vera back from life. Near-death experiences tend to do that with the people. I knew you'd pull through, Vera! I mean, that's what Apollo was fighting for the whole time. Your future. I won't forget it. Here, let me thank you. No, really, it's okay. Yeah! Oh, look, it's me! I love it, thanks! Get fucked. Is that me? She really captured your essence, Apollo. Well, I think so, at least. That reminds me. Do you know where the other lawyer is? The other lawyer? Oh, you mean Daddy! Except he's not a lawyer anymore. It's my fault, isn't it? I'm sorry. Oh, no, that's not what I meant! No, it's okay. I'm through looking away from the things I've done. I hope I can look him in the eyes again someday and apologize. I'm sure he'd be happy to hear that. He brought me all those things for me when he came to visit earlier. You mean that stack of videos? Mr. Wright finished watching them all? You know, I knew my real daddy was alive. Huh? I was there 7 years ago, remember? I was the one who helped him vanish from the courtroom. You did what? How? I'm not telling. He promised me that day he went away. We may not meet again for some time, Trucy. But know this, I will be watching, and one day I shall return. You're the next Grammar after all. Oh, Trucy. In the end, he couldn't keep that promise, could he? That's okay. Phoenix is my daddy now. Even if he can't really play the piano. That he can't. Oh, and I've got you too. Even if your voice is kind of loud sometimes. Glad I made your list. Hey, come to think of it, where is Daddy? The one who can't play. Do you know Apollo? I think he said he had to meet someone. I wonder. Maybe it's a new mommy. Oh, Trucy? Yes, Vera? I was wondering, could you show him to me once more? Sir Hat, was it? Oh, he's not been knighted. Yet! Here goes! Do us an impersonation, Mr. Hat! Objection! Not loud enough. And I like Miss Magic Underwear better anyway. That's magic panties, Apollo! Sighing and gay knowing. So, your memory's returned. Mr. Wright, was this all a part of your plan, too? I don't know what you're talking about. When I lost my memory, I was reborn as a Morar. But you knew my true identity, did you not? That is why you chose me as one of your jurists. Ah, you're thinking into it too much. Besides, there was no guarantee that regaining your memory would make you happy. Of course it is a happy thing. For so long, I thought I was alone. But now I know I have children. 2 dear children. I'm so proud of them. This, too, I think, is thanks to you. Are you going to tell them? They do not know? Nope. They don't know their mother. They don't even know their siblings. I will go to them when the time is right. Until then, don't worry. I'll take care of them for you. They're very important to me, too. A little annoying at times, but still. Let's keep an eye on her, at least. Because I'm the only one who knows she really feels on the inside. Your bracelet. Yes? I've seen a lot of mysterious things these past 7 years. But your bracelets were the strangest of all. Stranger than the Magatama? I remember meeting him half a year ago now in Crystal Gavin's office. And then I met you. Two fates destined to intertwine. And I was there when they crossed. I'll never forget that. Thalassa. I can't, in ways I can't blame her for not telling them. Because, like, she hasn't been in their lives for so long. But also, at least Phoenix could tell her, or tell them. But now he's been told to not by her. Such a small thing, that bullet, yet it tore who I was away. Years ago, during a simple rehearsal. It was a miracle no one died, but I didn't survive that incident. That is why I left the troupe, my family. Now, my memory has returned. I am myself once more. For the first time, I am glad to be alive, Mr. Wright. Someone needs to tell them. Or they're going to find out and be very fucked up and sad about it. Speaking of miracles, Vera Mission regained consciousness this morning. I can only hope she's as glad as you are. It is a strange thing, fate. Sometimes the life is taken. Sometimes life is spared. I don't remember why she... Oh, that's right! A6 spoilers, I guess, but that's right. She left... Apollo behind because she thought he was dead. Oops. Which, we don't get that surprise and shock here, consider, because that was a fucking retcon. You know what I've been thinking? People don't die that easily, really. You cannot. No. Phoenix, you're not allowed to say that. Nothing can kill you. As long as they've got something worth living for. And that's pretty much the end of my story. For now, anyway. I've still got a long way to go. This power of mine, well, needs some work. But there's hope now. We lost it, but somehow we found it again. That's why people are smiling again. Hope. Yeah, I think I'll keep at this lawyer thing for a while. Oh, training time. Gotta go. Courts of Steel, here comes justice!
Objection!
Who's ready for me to try to read and paste with the credits? I'm glad you're staying with the agency, Apollo! It's like I found my long-lost big little brother! Oh, and don't you worry about your grammar eye. Tercy's on the case. Now that I have this, thanks to Daddy. Tercy grammar eye? Frankly, I've got my doubts, but hat grammar eye, now that'll pack him in. These glossy CG friends. It's not every day you get a trial that rocks harder than one of our gigs, yeah? That's why it's over. The Gaviners are breaking up. The news caused a run of tissues at supermarkets nationwide. You're the real stars now. I look forward to your next jam session. R. Too bad you don't fucking get it, bud. Only in a mock trial. And a DLC case. Where they just babysit someone. Well, it's finally over. You know, thinking about it. I've been a piano player longer than I was a lawyer. Now that everything's sorted and I've got time on my hands, maybe I'll take some lessons. Or maybe I'll take the bar exam. Again. Nah, the mock trial from A5 is actually pretty enjoyable. It's like the actual real trial of that case that's the fucking nightmare. Third case, my beloved. So, I was standing around eating snackos the other day when I got this crazy idea. What if they were golden? You could augment the crunch, or better yet, make them ding. Ah, the power of science. Although, the preservatives might not be 100% safe. He's not orange in AA5. You're thinking of CG Clavier from this game. AA5 Clavier just lost some of his charm because the buckles are really stiff. In unlikely event you were wanting Russian feast, come to Borscht Bowl Club. The only thing colder than restaurant is borscht. Ah, but if greater challenge is being required, then come to the hideout. You know how to ask for. Yeah, the actual case is it's so long and twisty and fuckled. It has like a smackling of transphobia in it. So, Kentucky Pastries is getting back to its eastern roots. Spread the culture and all. Yo, boss! Culture time! This is how we write root, capiche? We're still about giving back to the people. Yo, boss! PR time! And this is how we write people, alright? Not that Walkie's paying any attention. Ooh, kids. Boy, Chinese characters on cake was a fly idea like 3,000 years ago. Believe that? Man, you want to make it today, you gotta keep it real, you know what I'm saying? Yo, that's why I made the OG. That is not a cracker! Okay. I know I don't look like a cracker, G. What, you want me to fuck... I hate it. Why did they make it that? I wonder what the original thing was. I don't know where all this talk about food is coming from. You ask me, there's only one food, and that's noodles. Noodles forever. I got a new one, too. See, this time, I just put a big chunk of salt in the bowl. Why pretend? Elden's noodles is about the salt. Salt forever. You are going to cause health problems. Someone's gonna have a heart attack at your salt. I do want noodles now, though. Hey, remember this guy? My exceptionally inquisitive nature has won me unequivocal adoration in my department. You see, they used to call me Wesley Stinkler, and Wesley Sticky Hands. But no longer. I have a new name, one that reflects my true academic nature. Wesley Sicko reporting. Yes, curiosity is a sickness, and I am the cure. Sickos. Frames. I don't know how to thank you for all that you've done. Light has returned to my life, and with it joy. I may have lost years, but I have gained a treasure. 2 treasures, in fact. I will think of them when I write my next song. Girl, go see them. She is pretty, though. She's really pretty, though. Why did they make her so pretty? Brusha, brusha, brushel. Brusha, 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 brushel. Brushel here, back on the beat with another interview. Eh? How do I feel about how things turned out? No scoop yet, but journalists' confidence in mint condition. End quote! They really wanted me to see that sprite again. I've decided to keep painting. Originals only, of course. I suppose I'll have to see a bit of the world outside to find what to paint. But I know there are good people out there now. I've met them. The door is open. The world is waiting. Thank you. Yeah! My favorite! Yeah, there we go. I forgot how little there actually is to the end of Ace Attorney 4 after you get through the fucking missions, the Mason system. That's the end of Ace Attorney 4! We finally finished the game! We would have finished it earlier if I didn't... if I streamed more often. But that's fine. I will... No, I'll leave the game up. Yeah. I have yet to decide what to do next. In my original poll, when it was originally decided I would replay this, we did it, lads. Included was also To the Moon and One Shot. And I've yet to decide if I want to do just like miscellaneous streams before committing to another actual series. Or if I want to just jump into one of those 2 options. I will have to look more into One Shot, because I know it's short, though I don't actually know much about it. To the Moon I've actually seen before, but it was years and years and years ago, so I really don't remember all that much about it. I don't remember how long it is, I'll have to look it up. And I don't know how much talking there is, but it's like a proper, like, I think it's an RPG Maker game, but it's like a proper RPG instead of like a visual novel. Not that visual novels are bad, it's just it's so much talking! I'm baby. Otherwise, I think all I've talked about is, like, looking into doing, like, a Thaumcraft stream series, which would be way more casual. One Shot is a single sitting. That makes sense. I'll have to look at it more. It's a game I have and have wanted to play. I also have like a bajillion, billion, bazillion games, both on Steam and on itch. So I can take a look at what I have, and I'll decide if I want to do various one-shots, or jump into a series, or maybe take a break from game streaming. I don't know. There's no save? Oh, there's no save in one shot! Oh, I see. It's one... Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's really fun. That's cool. I like that. Awesome. But yeah, I'll think about it. Because I really like playing games on stream, but I do get tired of it sometimes. But also I've learned that I can't stream working in Medibang, which limits the amount of things I mean, I can stream in Medibang, but stream hate it and make me eat the frame really hard and bad, and so many frames get consumed when I stream Medibang. But yeah, I will think on it about what to do next. I might also... I might consider moving when I stream. I don't know. I might move it to Thursday. I might try streaming in the evening. I could try out streaming in the evenings on Wednesdays to see if it's... Because I have streamed in the evening before, but it was always like weird, but I was also playing Zero Escape, which is more computer intensive. So I could maybe do like an art stream at night or something. I don't know. I'll play around and decide what to do next. But I think if I were to do like a proper real big series, I would want to do To the Moon, because that was it's on my list. Because I wanted to replay it, but I keep not replaying it because I'm really bad at playing games unless they like grip me and squeeze my brain out of my ears. But yeah, thank you all for coming. Thank you if you ever came to an Ace Attorney stream. It is now done. I am not going to play the other Ace Attorney games on stream because they're fucking long, and I just wanted to play Apollo Justice because I like the game. It is my favorite game of the Ace Attorneys. Though now it's kind of been usurped by The Great Ace Attorney, the duology, because it's good and I finished it recently. But yeah, thank you all for coming. Thank you to anyone who watches the VOD, and I will see you all next time with whatever I do. Bye bye! Yeah, thank you all for joining for Apollo time. See ya!